So Staksrud and Tellez set to take on Ben and Colin Johns here in men's doubles play. This should be fun. Colin Johns to serve. Let's go. So two phenomenal singles players in Staksrud and Tellez come together as a team. Here they are in the quarterfinals.
A nice pull right there from Federico Staksrud in the middle on Ben Johns.
Take a look at action going on around the complex. Kohler and Barr right now got their hands full with Sincola and Long. Sincola and Long right now kind of like the underdog story of the day.
They are today's Farley Dixon.
Yes. And a reminder, you know, it's March Madness at every pickleball tournament, right? The field always.
It is every other weekend, it seems that way. Oh, and Staksrud's going to take that all day.
1-1-2.
Good read there from Tellez as he just can't drop that in as Ben Johns comes over and poaches that.
2-1-2. Side out. 1-2-1. Second serve.
So we saw the Johns brothers in round number 1 against Tamaki and Martinez Vic. They won that 1 and 2, and then they took on Hewitt and Alshon. A little bit stiffer competition there, but able to get by as well.
Ooh, nice pull from Tellez, but goes just a little wide as he had Johns moving from sideline back to middle. He tries to speed up back sideline, but again, that's what you flirt with, is the out of bounds on that sideline. And that's exactly what happens.
Tellez finally the finish.
Just punishing balls with that big left-handed forehand.
2-2-2.
And that's on the line.
That's such a good ball in the middle there from Staksrud, and good patience too, waiting for the right moment to pull that trigger.
2-2-1.
Big serve there from Pablo Tellez as he forces the error from Colin Johns. And Staksrud and Tellez take a 1-point lead.
Second serve.
Up against the net that time. And Tellez and Staksrud now will reset.
3-2-2. Side out. 2-3-1. Point.
You see Tellez look down almost as if that ball skipped on him a little bit. Doesn't get that up and over.
3-3-1.
Little instruction there between the brothers. Communicates so well on the court. Oh, just wide. Colin wanted that one.
So I like the pattern here because what's going to happen is Pablo Tellez is going to play most of his dinks off of his forehand. He's going to run around it when he can. When he does, Staksrud's going to have to pinch middle. If he goes hard cross court, that shot that Colin Johns just missed is going to be there. If they can work that to force Tellez to run around his forehand like he likes to do.
3-3-1.
And that went into the net from Colin Johns. Our officials for this match, you hear the great Don Stanley, Tony Jaden, our second official. Angela Lumen
4-3-1.
is on tracking, and Diane Anderson is with us in the booth. Staksrud misfires.
Yeah, missed opportunity there for Staksrud on the forehand side. Just getting a little too aggressive.
4-3-2.
And that's wide. Are you a little surprised Staksrud and Tellez seem content to kind of play at this slow pace a little bit?
They are, because again, they don't want to get into the hands battles with Colin and Ben Johns because they have
3-4-1.
absolutely incredible hands. So that's the last thing they want to do. They're trying to wait for the right opportunity.
And that is just a little bit long. So Ben Johns here to serve, and happy birthday, Mr. Ben Johns. Today, he turns 24 years old. He's getting old.
God, is he getting old.
Oh,
Nice ball from Tellez right there.
No call. The ball's in. Second serve.
second serve coming up here. That ball in.
4-2.
ATP successful from Staksrud.
Great ball, good patience there from Staksrud as he goes around the post, finds the space. Colin Johns can't execute the defense.
Now Ben able to pick it up.
Second
And
serve.
that off the paddle of Tellez. Second serve here.
4-4-2.
Knotted at 4 here. Game number 1. Quarterfinal match.
That's a nice drive there from Tellez. Again, that forehand, loves that forehand.
5-4-2. Side out.
So that's a very methodical speed up there from Ben Johns. He punches that ball down. He's not just speeding up at the body of Staksrud, he's speeding up at the lower half. So if Staksrud is able to get anything on that, it's going to be upward angle. So the next ball is going to be even higher for Johns or brother Colin Johns.
Right down the middle. Tellez with a little stare.
A little stare and the head nod as he finishes this with the forehand.
Watch Tellez play. I mean, we know things Tyler Loong does is incredible, but this guy, he's like a lefty in baseball with that erratic motion, isn't he?
Yes, he is, and it's effective. Everything he does with a purpose.
6-4-2.
It's a 6-4 game here in game one.
I mean, Staksrud is reading these. He's a half step from being able to come over and poach and make a perfect ball. For some reason, he's a half step behind. He's there, he's seeing it.
Thank you. 4-6-1.
Staksrud upset himself that time. Cannot leave opportunities on the table against Ben and Colin Johns. They will make you pay dearly. Tellez puts it home.
Huge forehand. That's why, and what you see right there is the love for the forehand by Tellez. And that's the reason why right there. Good hands right there from Ben Johns on the speed up from Tellez.
Can the gate workers please monitor people walking during the rally, please? Thank you. Here we go. 6-5-2.
Don Stanley taking charge.
And nice step in from Staksrud. You see him front foot that backhand. But again, nice and aggressive. Colin Johns not completely up and in a set position. And Tellez missing one right there. It clips the tape and goes long. He's got an easy winner.
I know what that means. Verbal warning, profanity. I know what that means. Verbal display. Here we go. I heard it. I know what it means. Let's go. Let's play. Let's play. I heard it. Here we go. 5-7-1.
So verbal warning to Pablo Tellez.
Staksrud a little bit short. Also keeping an eye on Kohler and Barr, taking on Sincola and Long. Hope to have you updated on that one shortly. There you take a look at it.
It looks like it is over, and Sincola and Brendan Long moving on over AJ Kohler and Dekel Bar in 3.
Ernie attempt, well done from Tellez. So he's able to bounce back. You know, we had that profanity warning. That's a call that, if it's not Don Stanley officiating this game, maybe is not made.
Yeah, he caught it. Good job staying composed by Tellez and Staksrud.
And Ben John's a little bit shaken here.
Great hands there from Pablo Tellez on the backhand.
7-6-1.
Still with the lead.
Second serve.
Just swat that down by Colin Johns with the forehand.
7-6-2. Point.
Love the inside out there from Pablo Tellez to start that and get his partner Staksrud the put away.
8-6-2.
2-point lead here. Staksrud and Tellez.
Side out.
Ben Johns getting side out right back.
Almost took off Federico Staksrud's right foot with that ball.
6-8-1.
ATP from Ben. Comes back. Well done by Tellez. How about another?
Oh, he doubles up on it, Drew. Unbelievable defense from Tellez. But Ben John goes, hey, can you do it twice?
How many times do you see 2 of them in 1 point?
Not many at all.
Oh, this is fun.
That's so good. Absolutely love it. And back to the double ATP. They were identical, too. It was the same exact ATP.
Tellez really mixing it up. He is causing lots of problems right now.
He's playing so smooth, too, and just flipping that ball in the middle when he can, running around that forehand.
And a foot fault called here. It's going to be on Tellez.
Yes, you can. The result would be a fault and second serve. We have a challenge. What was the fault call? Challenge. All right, we have a challenge of the referee's fault call. The fault call puts us at 8-7-2. We'll now proceed with video review.
That's, yep. Correct call, because on the slide right there, toe ends up on the line, clearly. Maybe if you had a white shoe on, it'd be a little harder to see, but those neon and black shoes right there seems be an easy one to call here. And a great catch by our referees on court.
So that is the first video challenge that we've had in a match here today. Challenge put into effect here in the quarterfinals. Diane Anderson is with us here in the booth. And a great job by our Tennis Channel crew. Queuing up that video, lots of different looks. And I think clearly this call is going to stand, but we will see. Nonetheless, Staksrud and Tellez proven to be a very formidable pair, as we knew they would be. Two tremendous singles players coming together to try and take down the Johns dynasty.
No, absolutely, and they're playing at the top of their game right now, and that's, Drew, we know that's exactly what has to happen. If you're going to take out the #1 team in the world, you got to be playing your best.
Who has no idea? Here comes the call.
After review, the referee's ball call stands. We resume play at 8-7-2. The team is charged 1 timeout. We have 1 timeout, 2 timeouts. We resume play.
So that call made by Tony Jaden, spot on, as we thought it would be. And now we continue, 8-7. Second serve here for Staksrud and Tellez.
Side out.
And that third shot goes long. Side out now coming to the Johns.
7-8-1.
Ben Johns has removed that sweatshirt here late in this game 1. Oh, there's Staksrud. Right now, all their timing has been spot on, Dom.
Yeah, it has, and you've seen, you know, the 1-2 combo attempt here from Colin Johns. It's there, just the execution not.
Hands battle. And overhit from Tellez.
Almost off the right ear of Colin Johns, but Colin and Ben Johns both shedding those sweatshirts, but Colin's still keeping the sock hat on. It's time to get serious for the brothers as they're being tested right here as that ball just goes long off the tape.
Oh, so close.
8-8-1.
So now Tellez serving. Tellez and Ben Johns had an epic battle in Daytona in singles. And there's Tellez again, sneaking one in.
Pablo Tellez playing so well right now. I mean, he's stepping in and
9-8-1.
determining the pace of play.
Second serve.
Staksrud's there for the cover, just can't get that up and over, but they'll have a second serve here, try and
9-8-2.
get a game point.
Defense a little bit short that time. Side out for the Johns.
8-9-1.
Colin Johns here serving. Tellez just wide.
Yeah, trying to make the perfect shot cross court, keep it tight on the line, but ends up going a little wide.
9-9-1.
Tied at 9. Oh,
Little tight on that forehand cross court from Tellez. He wants to
Sir.
drop that paddle, but
10-9-1.
game point. Oh, Tellez again. You get into those long dink battles, and so tough to outlast the best men's doubles team on the planet.
Such a good job by Ben and Colin Johns, just grinding out the end net that game right there and take game number 1.
So it's the Johns in game 1, but well played from Staksrud and Tellez. Game 2, straight ahead from Austin. Stay tuned. Welcome back, everybody. The start of game number 2 here at the ONIX Austin Showdown, powered by Invited. Drew Felios, Dom Catalano.
Game 2, come in.
Tellez to serve. Staksrud by his side. They controlled most of game 1. Just felt like it was theirs, but it slips away at the very end.
Yeah, it's not about how you start, it's about how you finish. You got to be able to finish teams, and especially when you have the number 1 seed on the ropes, you have to go for the jugular. Couldn't finish.
Nice double up there from Tellez.
Yeah, and it's what Tellez does. He runs around that forehand, doesn't like to cut that backhand too much. Likes to roll that forehand.
And looking down the road here, the winner of this match gets Long and Sincola. How surprised are you to see that duo advance to the semis?
You want my honest answer? Not very surprised at the way, especially Brendan Long is playing, but then John Sincola playing alongside of him. That's a great job by those two gentlemen.
Second serve.
That's another slow start here in game 2 for the Johns brothers.
Still 2-2.
Oh, Tellez right now measuring it.
Yeah, just handcuffing Ben Johns right there, which you do not see very often, but looked like Ben Johns was a little shocked at that trigger pull.
Second serve.
Pablo Tellez, 27 years old.
And missed opportunity there for Staksrud and Tellez. Again, when you have a team like the Johns brothers on the ropes, you have to execute.
And that's wide from Staksrud.
Trying to flip that ball down the forehand side of Colin Johns.
1-2-1.
But just a little wide. The Johns brothers on the board.
1-2 here. Short from Ben. Here comes serve number 2.
1-2-2.
Oh, great shot from Colin. Just redirected that paddle.
Just so good. Again, one of the best defenders in the game.
2-2-2.
Telling you, some of the things Big Brother is able to pull off. ATP, it's third one he's had here in this match. Oh, not this time for Ben.
Nice job by Tellez right there, handling the ATP first and foremost. And then handling the speed ups too.
2-1.
Tellez comes back, gets it. We play on.
nice little speed up on the sideline as Tellez and Staksrud end up switching sides in that point, and it put Tellez's forehand on the sideline, and he kind of surprised Colin Johns with that little flip down the line.
Another ATP. Oh, Ben has been pulling those shots off left and right.
Well, he's 2 out of 4, right? And so he's got 2, and Tellez has defended 2 perfectly, but that one he kept nice and low right at the foot of Tellez.
Is it really that easy, as Ben just made it look, or is that hours and hours of practice?
Oh, I mean, it's hours and hours of practice at this shot, but he makes it look so easy. But he makes that decision when the ball's in the air. He knows and can read that so well.
Oh, great defense.
Oh, wow. Just too much pressure there from Pablo Tellez, but good defense from both Colin and Ben Johns just to stay in that point.
Johns brothers won here last year. Trying to do it again. And now Ben stepping up that pressure just a little bit. We're tied at 3.
3-3-2.
It's on the line.
What's the call?
Colin called it out.
That's a point. I can't overrule too close to overrule, Tony. All right, we have a challenge. We have a challenge of the outcall.
The challenge here, Colin called it out right away. Both Tellez and Staksrud thought they saw it in. So we have another challenge here.
So once again, the call will go into the truck. Diane Anderson, our official there, will have the final say. Second challenge we've had in this match. Usually the eyes of the Johns brothers are spot on.
Correct, and Colin made the call right away, so that's what he saw. After a very elongated point right there, that had to be 50, 60 dinks in a row. No one was willing to pull the trigger right away.
But altogether, Don Stanley, he's had his hands full in this match, Dom. Lots of stuff going on and off the court.
Don's always got his hands full. Whether it's on court or off court, Don always has his hands full. But yes, another close call right there. And again, these calls, you know, are big here. We're in a tight game here in game number 2. You know, Staksrud and Tellez trying to force a third game here on championship court. A spot in the semifinals on the line. And that's a huge spot, right? Because if you go from here and you lose, best you could do is 5th. If you move on, right, and you're in the semis, you're either going to gold or you're going to bronze. There's a big match here depending on where you finish in the draw.
So there, Don Stanley, Tony Jaden, Angela Lumen discussing things. And we will get the call here officially. Was it in or out?
After review, the out call stands. The challenge was lost and the timeout is lost. 1 timeout, 2 timeouts. We resume play at 4-3-2.
I mean, that's black and white from Don Stanley right there. That's great explanation. Thank you for that, Don. And we're right back to play.
Well, speed it up. Ben Johns, you are right, Tom. He is the last guy in the world you want to try and do that with.
Yeah, and he covered the middle so well right there. Almost baited you into thinking that there was a hole in the middle, and it was not there.
Oh, it's in. Staksrud comes up with a dime.
So Colin Johns did such a good job of opening up and taking that off the two-hander, but then doesn't finish on the second one. Thought that ball was going to go out.
So 3-5 now. Staksrud and Tellez. It's been a while since they've been able to score. It's not going to happen here.
No love off the top of the net for Staksrud.
3-5-2.
And Ben with the emphatic finish. You know, watching the last few points, just Colin's ability, knowing when to kind of step aside and when to get more involved. It is such a seamless pair.
Well, that's the thing is when you're playing with the same player week in and week out, there's something to say for familiarity with your partner.
And Ben will be upset at himself that time.
The read was there, the swing was too big, right? So if he reads that well, which he did, and just sits there and punches that down, it's a much better play. He tried to put something a little too much on it.
Oh, not going to make it over here. Another point for Ben and Colin. It's 6-3.
6-3-2.
Talked about a timeout for a second, but no timeout for Tellez and Staksrud.
And Ben able to tag Tellez, went right at him.
And now it looks like we're going to get the timeout at 7-3. The Johns brothers out to that lead.
So Ben Johns and Colin Johns, this team of Staksrud and Tellez, they were red hot in game one. They threw water on that flame, and right now in control here in Austin. Welcome back to the ONIX Austin Showdown, powered by Invited. Drew Felios, Dom Catalano, Dave Fleming, Kyle McKenzie will tag in after this match. The Johns trying to end it in 2. 7-3. And Ben mishits that one.
Again, he's sitting middle on it again. No, he's there. The problem is that it's just getting on his body a little too quick. Swing wasn't that big that time, but that's better execution right there by Ben Johns. Keeping that paddle so far out in front and just punching that down.
Second serve here for Tellez.
That's such a good backhand roll, cross-court dink from Ben Johns. So much pressure with it.
7-3-1.
That's what you call dinking with a purpose.
Point.
And Ben Johns is starting to take over. As soon as that sweatshirt came off midway through game number one, his footwork picked up as well.
8-3-1.
Yeah, momentum just sort of shifted right after that. Colin just enough to keep it alive, kind of lull you to sleep, and then it's it out.
Well, yeah, I mean, he hit 3 resets high. He didn't move. He stayed. And then on the 4th one, it's good. He moves up, right? And then the pressure gets put on.
Ben Johns right now smelling blood in the water.
Almost got cross-footed there and wasn't able to get there, but does get there a little late and puts it away.
10-3-1.
Match point. Ben Johns and Colin Johns come roaring back. They were challenged big time in game 1. Game 2, not the same story. They cruise. Post sweatshirt removal, as you said, Don.
Yeah, they just picked it up as soon as that timeout happened. They came out of that timeout in game 1, put it away, and then game 2, they were in cruise control the whole time.
Staksrud and Tellez, so impressive early. Still some kinks to work out, I think, altogether as a team. We're going to be seeing more of them, I'm sure, in the future. But right now, it's the Johns, 11-9, 11-3. Moving on here in Austin, Dave and Kyle join us when we return.